We're just gonna skip the intro because, quite frankly, I'm crap at them. Today, I'm doing a story time about my ex. He was one of a kind. I'm gonna give him a fake name. I'm gonna call him Brian. I don't know why he's sounds like his pensioner. I'm gonna have to give you like some background and the whole story to get to the other bits. You gotta understand it all. We met on a night out. I was just 18 and I think he was like 4 or 5 years older than me. And after the night out, we were texting a lot. And this went on for a few months. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, you're texting me every day. I don't want a pen pal. Are we gonna meet up? So I just said it to him. And he was like, oh yeah, we'll go out. Before I tell you about when we went out and everything, these are the things that he was telling me whilst we were texting. He drove an Audi. He had a flat. Although he said he worked with his uncle or something like that, he said he played football. Unless you're David Beckham, I don't get it. So I was just like, cool. Just before the actual date, he was like, my Audi's been written off. It was crashed into or some crap like that. Before the date, I would have said I liked him more, just because obviously I'm the one that I started the date. I'm the one that said about, are we ever going to meet? So I just assumed maybe I liked him more than he liked me. But after the day, it like the tables had turned and he was so keen. We started properly seeing each other and there was not really a lot of flexibility in it. Like he always saw me on a Friday, which I thought was a bit weird, but I just sort of put them sort of things in a little file in my brain. I keep them there unless I need to go back to them. They just sort of sit. He was very, very, very secretive on his phone, which again, I put in that same file. I think maybe I asked him a few times, but he just always had an excuse. I just thought, noted. The months passed like that, and then we became boyfriend and girlfriend around about the time of his birthday, which was August. On his birthday, he tells me he got a gift of a holiday in September, and he didn't seem that bothered about it. Like, if I got given a holiday, I would have been like, yes, but he wasn't too fast. Fast forward to September, he goes away on holiday. And while he's away, I think he called me once for literally about 2 minutes. It just made me think, I haven't met his mum. All them weird things that I'd put in the file, just, he's only rung me once. Just all these things I just didn't feel was right. So I decided when he gets home, I'm going to call him and I'm going to tell him everything. And if he doesn't want to change them things, then see ya. At this point, I was still quite strong and very much me. But that soon changed. He gets home and I'm like, telling him all the stuff, like boom, 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 snapping it all out, all these points. He responds how you would completely want. He's like, yeah, no, definitely. I was thinking that too. He was basically everything you wanted him to be. And afterwards, he texts me like after the conversation, love you so much, all that stuff. And do you want to know what he used to call me? It makes me actually die inside. Are you ready for this? Buffon princess. Buffon princess, like. The next few months after that, I've met his mum. We seem to be having what I think is like a normal relationship, but he still texts me all the time. And without even realising it, I was so reliant on him, which I feel like was his plan. It just happened over time, and sometimes you don't even realise it's happening. Now I think I would because of that, but back then I didn't really realise what he was doing. Although these couple of months felt normal, little things would happen, like nights out, stuff would happen. I'd be suspicious, just having that maybe a bit of a gut feeling, is he cheating, but not fully knowing. One night he was at mine and his phone rang. It says like, oh, you're really secret with your phone. So he had it out and it rang, and I'm just gonna call her Annabelle. And Annabelle calls and I'm like, oh, that's your ex-girlfriend. He's like, oh, no, it's not that, it's not her, it's not. I can't explain this properly because it was an Irish name, but he was basically saying that that was a boy and it's a spelling. And obviously I'm not Irish, so I didn't know, so I just went with it. Obviously it was an Annabelle, but you know what I mean. So that went into the file along with many other things. Just after Christmas, I start feeling like, no, we need to have another chat. The chat that went so well last time didn't go that well this time. He split up with me. To which I was devastated. Obviously, I thought he was amazing. He was one of the people that would be everything you want. I was so upset. Like, I wasn't myself. You know when you make yourself sadder? Like, I would listen to Adele. I loved Adele until she cancelled a concert on me because of her vocal cords, and now I feel her pain and I feel like this is my karma. Anyway, I'd literally go out in an umbrella when it's raining, go for a walk and listen to Adele. Like, what a sad scene I've set up for myself. This went on for a while, but okay, we split up, but he's still not leaving me alone. So bear that in mind as well. Yeah, I'm sad and I don't seem to be getting over it, but he's also not leaving me alone. So it's like nothing's changed. He's in my life, but not really. There's a funny story actually. I was in the toilet at college crying to my friend. I'm crying, obviously, because all I do is cry at this point about him. And my hair was caught on the flusher of the toilet. And mid-crying, she had to be like, sorry, but your hair's stuck. And that actually did, you know, when you cry and you laugh, I was like... 2 months later, I'm fed up of being fed up, basically. And I opened that file. I opened it. I've always had a gut instinct that maybe he wasn't as amazing as I thought. So if I can find that out, I knew in myself I would stop being so sad. So I've opened the file and
this is where it all changes.
I am FBI at this point. I was at his and he went to get a drink. I was around his room like, what can I find, what can I find? I don't know what I was looking for, but I wanted something. And I found his passport. His surname was different. Yeah, he'd given me a false surname. He had told me he didn't have social media, which with this new surname, he did. Of course he had social media. But obviously I just wrote it down and I searched it at home, found it and was like... And in his friends list was Annabelle. Why is he telling me he hasn't got social media, but he has? So we went out for a meal a week later and I confronted him, to which he said,
I don't even use it anymore.
And I was like, well, add me on it. He's like, well, I don't use it, I don't know the password, so I can't add you. Yes, I put it in the file again, but this time it was different. That file was open, I was on a mission. He also told me that his ex, Annabelle, cheated on him, was nasty, and was this crazy psycho ex. And let me just say, if someone tells you they've got a psycho ex, please, what made them psycho? Because was it them? I would never trust someone if they ever told me they had a psycho ex. 9 times out of 10, they're the reason that they were psycho. At this point, I decided I'm going to stop confronting him and I'm going to do all this FBI alone. The best thing to do was just to not tell him, and it was the best thing to do. I created a fake Facebook and I added Annabelle and I added him. So what I noticed from Annabelle's account was they were still together at a point that he'd said they wasn't, but I could never see when they'd split up. Like, she had some information, but she didn't have all the information. I also wanted to start messing with that little head of his. On Annabelle's Facebook page, I figured out that she actually lived 5 minutes from me and that I could use that to mess with his head. I told him that I went to a pub and Annabelle was there. I said, oh, I was at the pub the other day and I saw Annabelle. And his face was like white. And he goes,
oh God, she's so crazy. She's got sisters and they're all nuts and like they would literally beat you up just for being with me.
Really?
I went, oh really? Oh God, they sound awful. Oh, I don't think I'd speak to them.
Do you know when you just... Then I decided to message Annabelle as my friend. So the whole...
Oh, I'm with my friend. I think she's seen one of your exes. Can you help? Blah, blah, blah.
She replied saying,
oh, it wouldn't be my ex-boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. Because he was lovely. I guess you're talking about Brian. He cheated on me and was horrible.
And my heart sank and I thought, oh, maybe he is a cheater then. And then we started going back and forth, to which I told her, okay, I'm not her friend, I'm her. And she was like, I know, I thought so anyway. She mentioned that he split up with her after their holiday in September. You remember that holiday that he went on with his cousins? No, she bought him that for his birthday.
What?
He was leading a double life. He had 2 girlfriends. He couldn't go on holiday with one.
Oh my God.
That's why he got the holiday and wasn't happy. So he goes on holiday with her. By the way, he was horrible to her on that holiday. When he got home and I called him, like, he goes and splits up with her. He'd been with her, by the way, for years. We found out so much stuff. His nan was never ill once when he couldn't come to the harvester with me. No, she wasn't ill. He just made that up. He was out with her that day. Literally, he would go to the lowest of the low. He did not care. We spoke for we wanted to come up with a revenge plan. We met up and we'd become quite good friends at this point anyway. Literally, the best timing ever, he accepts my fake Facebook friendship, which proves that his Facebook was active and he was talking crap, obviously. But you want to know the best bit? He had another girlfriend. Oh yes, he didn't just have me and Annabelle. He had another girlfriend who had overlapped with me. So I overlapped with Annabelle, and then he couldn't handle 3 girlfriends, so he dropped Annabelle, had me, and let's call her Ellie. Not only did Annabelle live like 5 minutes from my mum's, my dad lives like 40 miles from my mum's, and Ellie lived 5 minutes from my dad's. It was like he was making it convenient for himself. We wanted to keep it classy. Yep, we wanted to keep it classy. Back and forth, we come up with the perfect plan. Obviously, during all this, I'm still texting him. I'm like, hey, like making him think I've got mug on my forehead. So we decided to let him think that we were going to have a threesome. Not me, Annabelle and him, me and my friend. Threesome, what a perfect thing to do when he seems to like to have two girls at one time anyway. Let's make him think he actually is going to have that. He'd manipulated me that much that he genuinely believed me when I said, oh, I mean, if I can't have you to myself, then I'd rather share you. No. I managed to get him to pay for a hotel, which was next to a pub. And that was where shit was gonna go down. So we wanted to get him in one of those booths. So I would be there, he would be there, and then Annabelle would come in. But obviously we'd just found out that he had another girlfriend, so we wanted to tell her as well. So I needed to get his phone, which, remember, he's really, I've never even touched his phone as his girlfriend, let alone as not his girlfriend, just to make him look like an idiot even more. I just wanted to make him really believe it, so I told him to get Viagra. At the pub when we met, he actually bragged to me about the fact he'd got Viagra and how he had told his cousins and his friends, and he was bragging to me. And I was just there like, you don't even know. And then he started telling me about his mate, his girl mate, Ellie. And obviously I knew Ellie was his girlfriend, and I was like, oh. He was like, yeah, bless her, she's going for a hard time. I was like, oh, bless her. Thinking the cheek of it. So the plan's in action, it's all going well. He takes his Viagra. What we plan to do, no, I'm just gonna tell you what we do. I'm not gonna tell you what we plan, I'm gonna tell you what happens. So we're sitting there, and I saved my number, but I changed the name to my stepmom's name, and I text myself saying, emergency, you need to call me, but your phone's not working, something along those lines. So I was like,
oh my god, can I use your phone?
To which he actually said, yeah. I took his phone and I was like, thanks. Then I had to quickly message Annabelle, like, come in now. I've got his phone, and Annabelle walks in, and he is so like, that he forgets about the phone, which is what we wanted to happen. So I slid his phone into my bag, like a proper little FBI. Annabelle comes around, he's like, and she sits down, and at that point he realises, wait a sec. You could tell, he's like, why would she just come sit down? She throws her keys on the side, like, you alright? And I was like, yes. That was not planned, and it was brilliant. And he then was stuck in between us, which was why I wanted the booth. And he was like, and then he had the realisation, you set me up. And I was like,
yeah, I did.
but obviously they had more history. So then they start having a little argument, and she's like, an Audi, a flat, footballer. She's proper rinsing him, and I'm there like, within their argument, and his legs, by the way, are like this. I get up and I take his phone, and I try and use his crappy phone to ring his then girlfriend. I rang her, I told her, and she was like, right, delete my number now, I don't want him to know. All I wanted to do was launch his phone down the toilet, and then Annabelle comes in like, oh, Brian's pretty much nearly crying and wants his phone back. I give him his phone, and I'm like, you're pathetic. he says to us, he pulls out money and he gives us money for drinks. Some people might think, why would you even take his money? I took that money and was like, thanks, the first couple of rounds on you, hun. And he had to go get his bag from the room. An absolute piece of crap he was the whole way there. I was like, haha, you thought he was going to freeze me, you're going home alone. See ya. Yeah, so then he went off on his way, and about 20 minutes later I get a call from him. And he's like,
have you spoken to Ellie?
I was like,
How would I know about Ellie? I'm stupid. I'm naive. I don't know what you do.
So we went out on a night out, had a fun night out. Like I said, we were good friends at this point. The next day, he starts sending me abusive messages and all this crap. And we were wondering why Ellie hadn't got back in contact with us. But we were like, oh, we've told her now, we've done our bit. Weeks later, Ellie contacts me, says she's not strong enough to leave him. And I'm just like, each to their own. They then got engaged. And I just thought, whatever, it won't last. Cut long story short, they didn't last. She told me months later that, no, maybe it was a year later, she had him on Facebook and was like, oh yeah, we split up. I don't know if he cheated on her. She didn't say that, but I don't think her pride would necessarily have told me that anyway. Yeah, that's basically the whole story. He did actually once text me about 2 years later and acted like it was an accident. How'd you accidentally put my number in? They always come back. The audacity. Even though I was listening to Adele, crying my eyes out all the time, the moment I found out he wasn't a good person, I did not cry after that. I cry over someone that's a piece of crap. I promised myself I will not cry after that. But I know I'm quite a strong person, but I was like, I'm not going to cry after that. Now I know that's it. The tears end now. And there was a time where I nearly cried, because obviously we were still sharing with each other what had happened and stories where things had overlapped and things started to make sense. And there was one time she told me something, I thought, oh God, I'm going to cry. So I went up to the bathroom, looked in the mirror and was like, you're not going to cry? And I walked back downstairs again. So yeah, that's the story. I hope it was entertaining for you. I love a story time. I find them so interesting. How someone can lead a double life like that, I don't even know. And clearly he couldn't lead a double life like that, because when you've got the FBI over here, I'll find you out. I will find you and I will kill you. I can't do an outro as much as I can't do an intro. Let me know down below if you've ever had any situations like this, because I just think it's crazy how they think they can get away with it. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. See ya.